Barbecue cookers can be really generous with their expertise or keep their secrets real close. But Fatty's willing to share all we learned at this year's Jack Daniels. So he's injecting the brisket.
Yes, I am.
So is it a secret injection
Yes, it is.
sauce? Okay.
Yes, it is. I can't share that with you.
How many do you cook?
We're cooking 3 16-pounders.
3 16-pounders. Wow. Why is brisket so difficult?
It's a tough piece of meat to begin with. So you have to cook it a long, long time to break down all the tissues.
And what's the optimum temperature?
About 225, 220.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want it to dip any below that, or you don't want it to get too much higher either.
No. Okay, so you've injected. Are you going to rub it?
Yes, we are.
Do you mop it?
A little bit towards the end, but not much.
Okay, so you mop towards the end. And so what are you working with over here? Oh, pork butts. And so you're injecting
Right.
with the deluxe Flowmaster weed killer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Pressure injector is a lot easier than the pump that he's using.
I see. The pressure injector versus the pump. Very good tip. So is this a secret injection formula also?
Pretty much, yeah, it's our own concoction.
Okay, you're not putting your ribs on yet.
Oh, I'm just prepping them.
Okay, so what do you do to them without giving away any proprietary secrets?
That's all that's going on over here. I'm just trimming them up nice, just trying to, peeling the skin off and taking every little bit of fat off and just getting them
Do you have any
prepped up.
secrets for skinning them? Is there any way to make that an easy job?
A lot of people try to dress it up top and pull them down like that. It's actually easier if you do it right in the middle.
Okay.
Like that.
Start in the middle.
With a paper towel. And you just kind of get your fingers underneath there. Try to not let it break and hold. That's it.
And so why do you do that?
Tender. You don't. If you leave the skin on there, then you're gonna get kind of a tough hide kind of texture on the back of your rib. You only get one shot with the judge. They get one little bite. They're gonna take one bite off of that rib, so you need to say everything you can in that one little bite. So the skin's not gonna help you with that.
So you're skinning them tonight, and it's about 9 o'clock. What time will you put these on tomorrow?
I'll put these on about 6, 7 in the morning in that ballpark. When we get about a 6-hour cooking process on the ribs.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of ribs are you using?
These are spare ribs that have been trimmed down to kind of a St. Louis cut on the spare ribs. So I'm moving all the breastbone, just leaving the center cut of the rib. These are backwoods smokers that are made in Louisiana, and they're a water smoker. So you have a fire going down below here, some wood, and you have a water pan in between your cooking chamber and the wood, and you put the meats up top here. Smoke them.
And what temperature do you try to maintain?
Jeez, we're really giving it up tonight, huh? Oh, about 240.
240.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all are on
All right,
Start
so
talking.
hey, here is the man.
What do y'all want to know?
Well, first of all, what's your name?
Bart Clark
Bart Clark. And
with
you're with
Tornado Alley
Tornado
with
Alley.
Donnie Till.
Hey, Donnie.
How are you?
He's out of Sperry and I'm out of Stillwater, out of Oklahoma, where the tornadoes roll.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know people in Oklahoma could do barbecue.
Wow.
But I'm from Texas,
We do
so
some of the best
let's roll
barbecue.
down here.
And really what we do is we really bear down on Texas people. Because, Oklahoma barbecue almost always whips ass on everybody's Texas barbecue at all. I mean, it's just that way. What time is it? Yeah, it's past that time we can talk like that.
That's right. That's right. And it's a website. It's not like it's real TV.
Woohoo, website.
You can say
We'll get
anything
around
you
tonight.
want here. So what do y'all do best?
I think we do it all best, even up.
Even up.
We just make everything hit even, and that gets you into the show to where you can have a chance to win the grand championship. That's what you want. And we got a bunch of guys coming in here, it's won a few, and then a lot of people won a lot. And
Yeah.
this show right here, we got new judges in there, which we're going to try to play to, but you can't change what you do for that.
How do you know how to play to a new judge?
Well, we've already paid them. So.
Okay. good. So it's at least you can at least you know what the going rate
It costs
is.
us more than what we're going to win if we ever won.
Okay, well that's always
No,
helpful.
I tell you what, we got some good judges in there, and they're going to know what is the good barbecue. Juicy good barbecue with pretty good little hit of sauce. It's not too much. And there'll be people in here trying to run different stages of sauce. You got about 5 different kinds of sauce they're going to try to run all over the country. So basically what wins is not overcooking your meat, not undercooking it. You've got to have that edge to know how to cook on any climate. You got so many different kind of machines here. You got pellet machines, you got big rigs, you got stick burners. So I think that's going to come into play.
What do you guys cook on?
We're running wood.
Wood.
We just run a basic smoking rig that it's pretty lucky. It's lucky.
Yeah, it's made in Oklahoma.
What wood do you cook on?
Well, we really like a little bit of hickory with some pecan, and we back it up with a little bit of cherry on the finish.
Some fruit wood there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We really like cherry. Cherry is a good smooth wood. It lets the judges actually taste the meat, and it's not overbearing.
So do you have a formula for how you put the wood in, or do you go by aroma or temperature?
We got a formula. What we're going to do is run this hardwood, this hickory and this oak at the first and get a little heat running, and we're going to make a bed of heat. And then what we'll do is let this thing settle down and get it up here about 275, and that's where we're going to put our meat on. And then we'll start ladling in a little bit of cherry and a little bit of pecan on that meat that's not wrapped and give it that flavor. That's what we want to do to add to our spices we already have on the meat.
Okay.
So basically what we're going to do is just feather in the different flavors of wood. We're going to try to do the best we can on burning everything up,
Okay.
except the meat. Put
Well-
the meat on there, we're going to make it right.
Okay. That'll work. What's your name?
Mike Hayes.
Hey, Mike.
I'm Christy.
Christy Hayes.
Hi.
Christy Hayes.
That's my brother Jim.
Hi, Jim. And what is your team?
The Smokedelics.
The Smokedelic. How much barbecuing had you done before competitively?
Well, competitively, really none until last year. I've cooked barbecue for the last 20 years, but never competitively. And we went to a local contest just to check it out, and we bought the taster kit and walked around and tasted the samples and thought, you know what, we can do this. So I bought a smoker and did a couple of practice cooks, and then we just started entering contests.
What kind of smoker do you use?
It's a Kingfisher cooker. It's made in Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Offset firebox. It's got a rotisserie, and I burn straight logs in it.
What kind of wood?
Oak and hickory.
Oak and hickory.
Yeah.
No fruit wood for you.
No fruit wood for me.
What's the trickiest? Which cut?
I'd have to say probably brisket. I've done real well in brisket this year, and I've done real bad in brisket this year. And a lot of it depends on the cut of the meat that you get. It's just a real tricky kind of meat, and sometimes it turns out, sometimes it just doesn't quite get there.
How you came to have Cancer Sucks?
CancerSucksChicago.com started. I started competing about 4 years ago. My wife was diagnosed with colon cancer, and so I basically quit competing. I got out again last year. She passed away now 3.5 years ago, and I started competing again last year and got out and did about 3 contests. And this year I started doing it full time for me at least, with 2 young kids. And I started competing. I think this will be my 12th contest of this year. So, I was fortunate enough to have some success up in Michigan. I won a grand championship and was lucky enough to qualify for this and come down to the Jack. So the whole purpose of my team is to raise money for cancer research. I started a foundation, a 501c3 foundation, in my wife's name, and we basically raise money for cancer research and to assist people, the survivors and families of survivors with cancer. So try to do good. Life hands you lemons, you try and make lemonade. So.
Well, and I understand that you've encouraged some of the other teams to contribute some of their proceeds.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few teams. They're actually doing a nice benefit poster today, where they did a Jack Daniels poster, and all the cooks are going to be signing it. and they're going to be auctioning it off, I guess, and whatever monies are raised from that, they're going to donate it to my foundation. So, I mean, I actually have teams throughout the U.S. that donate, portions of their winnings every single week. So, a guy out in Arizona, Mesa, Arizona, last week won the Grand Championship in California, and he immediately sends a PayPal in for the amount of money. So it's humbling. I mean, it really is. These guys don't need to be doing this. Obviously, it's my cause, my drive, and it's humbling, and that's all I can really say about it. So.
Well, and I understand that today's cook-off has a special dedication for you.
Yeah, my dad actually passed away yesterday. So today I'm going to be cooking it for him and try and do something good for him. So see what we can do. It's all we can do. It's sort of roll the dice here with all these top cooks. So hopefully I can be able to play with some of the big boys. So
tell us, please, about the clone sickle, how you came up with this creation, and what is it? What is in there?
Well, it's a bottle of Gentleman Jack frozen in ice.
Ooh.
Okay, and it actually started as a bribe. One of my good friends, Scotty Johnson from Cancer Sucks Chicago team, he got talking about bribing one of the teams with popsicles, bribing their kids trying to find their dad's secret. And I said, well, I'll take a bribe of popsicles. I love bomb pops. So anyway, he came up with the clone sickle as a bribe, and it's really taken off. It's known around the country. Every contest we go to, the clone sickle is out at 8:30 and 11, and we do a shot, a good luck toast to everybody in the contest.
Here's to good friends, good fun, good barbecue, and may we all be number one. And, Darren, say it. Beat Qua.
SmokeMeADaddy.com. But what do the pellets look like, and where do you feed the pellets in?
This is the hopper.
Okay, it's called the hopper.
And you fill it full of pellets.
That looks like rabbit food.
Absolutely. It is 100% hardwood sawdust, compressed with just water. This happens to be 60% hickory, 40% oak. And you fill the hopper up, and it funnels down to an auger, and the auger rolls pellets over to a fire pot about the size of a coffee cup. And there's a fan blowing. You can't hear it over everybody else, but there's a fan blowing, and there's 9 holes around the cup that create a forge effect. So once it ignites the pellets, it turns the electricity off to it, and it's strictly a wood-burning fire that's got a forced air draft. That's how it works.
Very cool. So you actually get the wood mix out of the pellet blend.
Absolutely, yeah.
And do you have the
hardwood.
pellets custom blended, or do you just buy pellets?
No, I buy Fast Eddie Marrin built by cookers, and he has a special blend that he sells, and that's what I use.
Congratulations on a nice, civilized setup here.
Well, thank you.
And what is your name?
Carol Ritter.
Carol Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
And where are you from?
I'm from Point, Texas.
So how many women are there that lead cooking teams or that are their own cooking team?
Well, where I'm from, there's probably about 3 or 4, but there's more that have started lately. I know in the last couple of years, some of our friends, their wives started cooking because I was doing it, and they're kicking their husband's butt.
Always fun.
Yes, it is.
So what's the difference between a Texas brisket and everybody else's brisket?
I think our briskets are a little bit spicier, and we like ours a little bit tender. Sometimes we call it no-teeth barbecue.
Ah, yes.
You know, they like shredded pork here. Well, in Texas, lots of times they want them slices to almost be like shredded.
Okay, so they don't like the tooth on
No.
their brisket.
They want to really enjoy it and not chew on it too
So
much.
how long do you cook your brisket?
Well, we have an insulated smoker, so usually it's anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, just depending on the size
On
of
how
the
big
brisket.
a piece of meat?
Well, usually a 12-pound brisket will take me about 6 to 7 hours. It just depends
Now,
on how
somebody
much.
was telling us earlier that there's a Texas technique where you kind of sear it off on both sides and then put it in foil and then put it back on. Is
Yeah,
that
they call it the Texas crunch, but we call it, that's how we get no-teeth barbecue.
okay?
But yeah, we sear it, and then after that, you know, we smoke it for so many hours, and then usually we wrap it, and then we take it out and finish it off before we serve it.
When you say finish it off, what do you mean?
Well, I like to put sauce on my brisket.
Okay, you sauce it, and then do you put it back in the smoker wrapped in foil?
No, I take it out of the foil, then I put it back on the smoker for a while, and I let it tighten up a little bit because it tends to loosen up when you've wrapped in foil. And then after it tightens up, then I sauce it a little bit, let it dry out a little bit, and then I sauce it a little bit.
And then it's ready.
And then it's ready.
Time to turn it in.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Good luck
you.
today.
Thank you.